rolling.
One of the things I did want to ask you is, it's clear that in the way you direct, you know how to get the artist to give you what you want. And you know how to, like you were saying, dramatic narrative. Now, how is that different with the director, with the actors, as it is with dancers?
Actually, it's no different. It's no different. With dance, sometimes this step, that step is difficult for a dancer, and you have to plow through it, or you have to adjust it. You know, you're adjusting, blocking, and, you know, I might think that the actress comes in that door, flaps the suitcase down, comes up here, starts complaining, whatever the scene is. They may say, no, I don't ever want to go past that door. Then I have to get them to where they get up here. So, dance is drama. I mean, we don't have words. We're using, you know, movement and expression, or not expression, to, you know, convey something, you know, whatever we're doing. I think dancers make great actors. I think it's no surprise that Shirley MacLaine is who she is, or Catherine Zeta-Jones, or John Travolta. Chris, what's his name? He's in Walken, Christopher Walken. He was in my ballet class. He's amazing. There's
And you?
okay, me, you're right. I'm okay. But there's a connection there, yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for taking this time. I said that we were supposed to talk about Catherine Dunham. I know
Oh my
that-
God, Catherine!
Yeah, so
Miss
before
Dunham.
we leave, I've got to bring her, because I
Okay,
know you two had a
please.
special affinity.
Oh, we did. I grew up understanding and admiring so much who she is. I have to say is, because Catherine Dunham is. She is never going to be was. Who she is. The work she left us, the book she wrote, the efforts as a humanitarian. She was like a five-dimensional person. I mean, I got to know her, sit at her feet, be mentored by her. I helped take care of her, loved her, treasured her. I actually have the rights to some of her work. I was taking care of her at a time when I was working in television. We have no national cultural agency, so we have some great artists that will grow older and not be working, and then how do they take care of themselves? Who's going to take care of them? So I took care of her. I could pay her phone bill, her electric bill, I could pay whatever she needed, and I did. Just for her, not for anything. I never even talked about it. I just did it. And then she says, well, Debbie, you must have something for this. I want you to have some of my work. You must pick two things. She says, I want you to have Barrel House. I said, really? Wow. And then she said, no, you see what else. And then my discussions with her, because I sat by her bedside and I interviewed her for hours. I had such great tapes of her. And she talked about this ballet, Southland, that had a lynching. And that was the ballet that she did that made the federal government take away her passport. So she couldn't travel and expose the United States for the atrocities that were happening. And oh, I admired her for that. Oh my God, she was strong. She is just right there. When I think of her right now, I can see her with her crystals surrounding her and all that could be memory just kind of living right there in front of her all the time. So I definitely teach the Dunham technique in my dance school. And it's strong. Bob Fosse, Jerome Robbins, all of them were nurtured by her.
Here they are.
She told the story. She told Jerome Robbins he could have the balcony scene that she had done in a play called Chicago. She was the first one to have women on stage smoking cigars. It wasn't Fosse, it was Catherine Dunham. And Fosse admired her. It's not a secret. But people don't talk about it. But I'm going to talk about it because I know that.
Well, you know, Gwen Burke
Yes.
talked about it. I had a discussion with her.
Oh, really? What did she
a long
say?
time ago. Well, she showed me different steps. So little steps. She said this came from Dunham, and this
Dunham.
came from this one. She was very honest about where they came from.
Dunham was that whole isolate everything.
Yeah.
part of his style, is defined.
And Foster used that, I mean, he.
It was his signature.
Yes.
And it's okay, just like Beyonce does it, and she got it from African dance, you know. Her choreographer is very well versed in African dance. So it's all good. Everything goes in a circle. I mean, what is really new?
No.
I mean, it's just how you package it and how you're expressing it, you know.
That's what you get to.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep trying to do new things.
So what are your plans for the future? If you can share it.
Well, I'm gonna work on a TV show that I really wanna do with a friend of mine, Luz Venosta. He's a very talented writer. He was a dancer. We were dancers together way back in the day. He was in Fame, and he wrote a movie called Bird on the Wire. He wrote a movie called, oh God, what can I say? The Last Dragon, with Vanity and all. It was great.
Bird of the Wire was Mel Gibson and
Mel
Goldie Hawn.
Exactly. Anyway, and he did that first hurricane. He did a thing about a hurricane that became a tornado that turned into a big movie that he turned down from Spielberg. I want to slap him. Oh God, I was like, come on, boy. Anyway, but he and I reunited, and we want to work on something together. We're going to work on something about people who come out of the world of dance but are in other places, like yourself. People are doing different things.
And you know, one of the things that I heard kicked around, which I think that would be a fabulous vehicle, was Arsenic and Old Lakes, or you and...
Yes, Otis Ali was trying to get the rights. It's very interesting. You go to get the rights to things, and you'd be surprised. Estates and different authors don't want it to have a black context. Some Edward Albee we were trying to get for. We were trying to do Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
My God!
Wouldn't let us do it.
Really?
Won't let us do it. Isn't that amazing? These things are just, it's mind-boggling.
And that would be, oh, wow.
Child,
Did
I
you
was
meet
ready.
Martha?
I'm not saying. I was ready.
No.
I was ready, but they
Wow.
weren't ready. Anyway, it's all good, honey. We just keep plowing, doing our thing. We're gonna get there. We need some new writers. That's what I would like to encourage people to start writing. We need new things, new. So,
Again, this has been such a pleasure.
thank you. I enjoyed it.
We're out. Thank you. Painless.